Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Action Figure Powwow. My name's Jay, and joining me, as always, is the all-round good egg and my powwow partner, Paul Shearman, ladies and gentlemen. And here he is.
Oh, hello. How you doing?
How's it going, Paul?
Good. I'm good. We're getting slicker and slicker at this, aren't we?
I think we're learning the software just as our free time is going to start expiring soon. So I mentioned that Paul is an all-round good egg. I'd just like to say before we go into talk about our toys, I was sitting here at home this week, and I was working. This is where I work, this desk here, and hey, where you going, camera? Come back, and
okay, camera. The robots are taking over.
I have a new robot camera, so it's going to spaz out sometimes. So this is where I work over here, and I'm sitting there on a call, and the postman comes to the door, and I wasn't expecting anything. Next thing, my wife walks in with a Hasbro Pulse box. So I open it up. I'm thinking, what is this thing? And look, I got this nice little note in there.
Wow, look at the handwriting. I'm gonna say my 5-year-old wrote that because I'm so ashamed of my handwriting.
And then right underneath it, don't show them all the junk, robot. God, like that side's not, I'm still
Jarvis, what are you doing? Jarvis.
So I open up the package, and inside is a brand new Marvel Legends Modular Iron Man.
Isn't it?
Look at
so
that.
shiny.
How
Good
cool
pose.
Is that? Right?
Good pose.
Yeah, because he's in the Marvel. The Marvel. Why isn't my camera suddenly spazzing out? We've been sitting here talking on it for ages, and it's like, no, started going live, have you? Yeah, no, I'm not having this. Yes. So this modular Iron Man turned up. This is I've kind of put him in a pose like in the Marvel video game. Is it?
Yeah.
Marvel versus
Capcom. Yeah.
So I had him in that kind of pose.
Awesome.
So shall we start off with talking about that, and then you've got a bit of excitingness to talk about.
I have.
We might
Big
want
stuff.
to.
Big
stuff. We might want to go on to a bit of that afterwards. Let's get us both on camera.
There you go.
So yeah, this is like I said. This figure, it's quite stiff, right? So the head part is quite stiff. I think I'm going to need to heat that up and loosen it a bit, because if I pull it off, even like it comes on and off easily, but this bit is super stiff.
Okay.
I don't want to put too much pressure on and potentially damage that. But he's got nice repulsor hands. But look, these are posable ones. Oh yeah,
wow.
These ones pose. So these ones are great, right?
Because to my shame, I've not even unboxed mine yet, which I know drives you mad with my self-control. But I've been so busy.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one that you'll really enjoy. It's a fun one. This one
it looks nice. So shiny.
It is. It's really shiny. Actually, does it look shiny on camera?
It looks fantastic on camera. Honestly, that looks amazing on camera.
You know what I think's happening is so this camera is a tracking camera, and I think when I put him in front of my face, it's like, "Where's your face gone?" And it's trying to get past that.
This camera is literally tracking.
It is. I thought it'd be a good idea, for like in the future, if I get up and want to do a presentation and walk over this side of the room, we'll come back over here.
Don't slag the camera off, because it will take over the house.
So yeah, it's a very nice figure. Comes with some little repulsor blasts. Can't see me now, can you, camera? So it comes with some blue repulsor blasts. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 sets of hands and those. The only thing that would have made this figure better what do you think would have made this figure better?
A Tony Stark head.
Because, right, if you're going to sell Iron Man, why would Iron Man not have a Tony Stark head?
Yes.
That's what I wonder. Yeah. How can you sell Iron Man without a Tony Stark head? Because guess who's in there?
And you know what? Particularly in that era, because that era of the comic book, which started at about the 250 mark and then went through to 320 of the original volume back in the sort of 80s into the 90s.
Right.
There was so much Tony Stark head in the armor, seeing his head, And it was when you had the advent of War Machine as well. I know you've got the deluxe War Machine as well now. So it was those two together.
They do. And standing together, they look great. You know, you've got War Machine there.
It's perfect. And you want the Tony and Rhodey heads in those armors as well, don't you?
Yeah, and you get a nice Rhodey head with this War Machine,
yeah.
which is actually a huge head. If you try putting it on in the other figures, they just look like they've got a massive head.
Does it?
Yeah, I was like,
oh, no.
like big head syndrome.
Oh, no.
But yeah,
but
the War Machine
shines.
is a great figure, and this is great. It looks so cool. So I mean, at the moment, this is the Iron Man that I'm playing with the most because I think it's a really nice figure. As I say, I just want to loosen up a few bits. Look, I'm happy that the knees are quite stiff. You know, I'm always happy when the feet and the knees are kind of stiff because it's good for standing up.
Yeah.
The arms have got a decent amount of stiffness on them. It's mainly the head. I think that the way that the joint goes across, it kind of gets there and then it stops, and it does go. I forced it all away, but you can just you don't want to put too much pressure on it because this actually, I think this has a dumbbell joint because the bottom part of the neck moves.
Oh yeah,
so does this. So in here you've got the pivot,
and that's a danger.
But you also have the dumbbell. Oh, I'm not doing it on the right place. There you go. So it's it moves in two ways.
Yeah, that's a danger.
Yeah, you just don't want to put too much pressure on it. But like I've gradually moved it about and got it loosened a bit. But I think the best thing really is just to heat it up, and then it'll be perfectly fine after that.
Yeah,
nice figure, and especially nice because it came as a surprise. So yeah, and you know this is one of those ones that again, definitely a figure that I think is better in hand than it is in the photos, because when you remember when I first saw it and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to buy that one.
No, same here.
Right. And yeah, it is definitely a nicer figure when you've got it. It looks much better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I got it by accident initially because I was like you, because it was in the wave with the Stealth Iron Man, which I wanted immediately. And come on, Jarvis, soundtrack. I was right, Jarvis. I sent her.
I'm not allowed to look away from the camera.
That's right. Don't diss Jarvis.
I'm a slave to the machine.
So I wanted the Stealth one. That was my absolute got to get the Stealth one. And we haven't long had the AI one, which is a great figure as well.
Yeah.
And when they did for those who may not know, you may have ordered it yourself, Hasbro made a bit of a cock up on their site. They put the Fortnite Snake Eyes up for free,
but then they never let you.
And never materialised. So, but you tried to check out, but you couldn't. You had to buy something with it. So I was like, okay, I'll buy the Modular Iron Man. And then the Snake Eyes got cancelled. Jarvis.
Oh man, the difficulties of live broadcasting when technology decides to screw you.
The machines.
And I thought I was being all clever by a nice new flashy camera.
Well, the quality looks great. It's just got a little bit of a mind of its own at the moment. And
don't show them the junk. Don't show them the junk, dude. Come back.
What is it doing? That's hilarious.
I have no idea. It's just spazzing out.
I think where is he? I think MODOK is controlling it behind me.
Oh, I think so too.
So yes, I got it by accident, but you're right. It looks amazing, and to see it when you watch this back, you'll see what I can see on the camera. The shine on it as you hold it up there is awesome.
Oh yeah. I mean, even like here, it's glistening. You know, it's really nice. Great figure. So I'm so glad that you put that in my hand. Definitely.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure. I'm always glad when they go to a good home and it will be well used and well posed. So
I'll tell you what,
pleasure.
One thing though, the AI Iron Man is slightly taller.
Is it?
It's like, what's going on there?
Interesting.
Could they not get him right, like the same height? Is this like the Robert Downey version where he's short?
Yeah. It's the one after. This is after he got shot and was in a wheelchair, so I guess he'd obviously lost some of his spinal cord.
I was going to say, surely if they did a Robert Downey Iron Man, if you get the MCU Iron Man, he should look like that next to him.
Yeah.
Now we love you, our DJ.
We do love RDJ. If ever you want to come on the show and talk about your Iron Man figures, more than welcome.
Because he totally watches this.
Oh, big time.
100%.
Big time. I'm pretty sure I saw him put some in the comments every week. An epic show. Could you get a Jarvis that's got a mind of its own? And you ask, we deliver. So there you go.
There you go. I'm going to just remember to do something there. And so, right. So there was something else I was meant to do here, but I've absolutely forgotten what I was about to do. Anyway, so that was him. Speaking of like toy news, if we go from Hasbro point of view, I do want to just touch on one thing. So they had some more of the Lightning Collection Power Rangers come out.
Yeah, saw that.
And they're the Ninja ones, right? And they're $31.99. That's like NECA kind of price.
No.
Right?
What do they come with?
Another head and some hands, and I think they have two heads because they're three different. There's a unmasked, one kind of ninja mask, like a half one, and then a full one. But of course, people like Star Action Figures and that have also got them. So they're $31.99 on Hasbro Pulse. Star Action Figures, I think, have them for like $27.95, and then of course you've got your £2 packaging, postage and all that. So when we get free postage, but I did see that Star Action Figures. I'm only using them as an example. They're on all the other sites, but on Facebook, I saw that they'd done a post to say, these are out, and somebody commented, "I'm not paying that for those because they're pretty much all reuse." And they actually they're like, I don't know what they're thinking putting them up at that price. They're going to just kill their line because only hardcore, Power Rangers people are going to buy those, and then everyone else is going to be like, well, I'm not buying that, and they'll be left scratching their head. And I'm watching them going, "Oh, I just want them to go on sale for like £5 or £6 like the Beast ones did, because get a bunch of ninjas,
Which they may well end up that way."
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I really
so
don't get what they're doing.
That is the same price as the Shield 2-pack Troopers then, $31.99.
Yeah,
wow.
So it's the same price as 2 Marvel Legends figures. It's crazy, isn't it?
That's ridiculous.
Why would that be? Because they are nice figures. I don't know if you've ever had one of the Power Rangers in your hand,
I was looking at the glams when they put it out. Obviously, like you get the emails, get the alerts. I didn't watch the announcement for that, but I get the glams for that. But they look great figures. But are they a £32 figure? I don't know.
No, they're not. Look, I've got one of the older ones, right? So I've got like a Blue Ranger here. I've got a few, right? This is a nice figure. This is just like your retro Spider-Man. He's got the same twist.
Okay.
It's got the same.
The back punch as well. Yeah.
And it's got like really good. Like they're getting really good poses. These are lovely. They're good figures. Don't get me wrong, but they're not a $31.99 figure. They're a standard, Marvel Legends price figure, in my opinion. So I don't know what they're thinking with that. I just chuck my toys back.
He's a ninja. He'll survive.
Yeah, he's all right. He did a forward roll, and
because he's Power Rangers.
Yeah, he was fine. So I don't know what that idea is all about, because the other Power Rangers Lightning Collection aren't that price. So what is it? Because they're ninjas. The reason I'm interested to see one is because the trousers on them are like, they're sort of like bagging, and they've got tied up bottoms and all that. And if I look at, say, that one I just showed you, the posability is really good, and I'm interested to see what the posability is like one of those. Because I'm looking at like the Joe Ninjas, and I'm like, because it's one of those things. I think I said to you about the movie Storm Shadow, how I liked how the legs worked on it.
Just about to reference that, as in how similar they are to that.
And so I'm interested to see one for that reason, but I'm not interested $31.99 amount. Hell no.
That's just, I can't believe that price. I didn't take that. I had a look at the figure because I don't buy Power Rangers. I didn't get into the detail of the price of it, but that's quite telling, because I just assumed it's going to be your standard $21.99, $22.99, something like that. But wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's not the best. But I can't think of anything else that's been.
One thing I'm more curious about, and I don't know whether you know, we'll keep meaning to raise it. Maybe someone will tell us in the comments if they know. The Victory Saber, the HasLab Transformer.
Yeah.
Is that just pure grey?
No, I thought that was just the concept.
That's
Because
what
that's
I
what
was.
they showed, right?
Yes, but every single thing I've seen so far, and it's quite unusual for HasLab to be this far down with the project
And not
and
show
have
you.
it and not have a final design of it. Absolutely, you know, even
Yeah,
with
I mean,
you know, even with Morg as they got done, and right to the end, even that, you know, that fourth for with the Galactus for HasLab, the Doom head, the fourth head, that came out of
yeah,
nowhere because they were like
yeah.
an hour away from it closing, and then it hit the 22,000.
And it was
So
already done.
and it was done, and it
Yeah,
was there, and that was
yeah,
done before the Morg figure. They just had a design concept of the Morg. So
yeah.
I don't know whether that
Which again,
is
they show you in colour,
correct.
right? I don't know, you know. I really don't know. Um, I find it a bit hard to believe that people are going to buy it if it's just grey plastic.
Same here. And to be fair, I probably just need to spend a bit of time on Google actually looking at the Victory Saber character from
Yeah, in the comics, and
wherever
that
it came from.
he's probably just plain grey, and now we look like idiots.
Oh
But no, I mean,
yeah, I knew it was grey. I just wanted to see
because
if
we
you
didn't look
knew it
like
was
idiots
grey.
already, you know. We just
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I've got a friend at work called Alan who is a Transformers guy. I've mentioned him to you before.
Yeah.
I need to get him to come on at some point. Just need to work out when we want to discuss Transformers. Probably this would have probably been a good week because I think it's quite quiet, other than like the two items you've got to talk about. I feel like a lot of my stuff must be pushed back because I'm seeing people get some items that, you know, I was expecting and I haven't had them. But then also all the stuff with Hasbro where they've been pushed back, we know that some stuff's getting,
Yeah.
you know,
And you know, weirdly, some of it got pushed back and then it arrived. So I got my Ultron, which I was told was going to be November, and then that came week before last, and we obviously talked about it on one of our shows. And then last week, that's right. And then I got
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now. Yeah, and then I got my guards. I got my third guardsman, which I'd ordered with the modular Iron Man that I'd that I sent you. So they were so the Ultron, the Guardsman, and the modular Iron Man. I got an email notification a couple of months ago now telling me they'd gone back from the middle of September to November. So
Right.
Okay, so I went and got another modular Iron Man because I wanted to get that straight away, and then weirdly I haven't opened it, but I wanted to get that straight away. And then they all arrived. So this week I did have I had my third guardsman arrive this week. I wasn't expecting it, but obviously we've covered that already, so I'm not going to talk about that on the show now.
Yes, I'll be order for you.
Yeah, so it's got 3 of those now, which would be good. But then I got an email today from Hasbro saying your recent order was a duplicate email telling me my guardsman and my modular Iron Man are on the way. I'm thinking, well, I've already got them. So I don't know what's going on with whether it's just an email overlap or I'm getting more.
Yeah. Imagine if they send some free ones, that'd be nice.
I'll take that all day long.
Yeah.
But I should
at least have 4 guardsmen, right?
I'd have 4 guardsmen, but I should be nervously checking my bank account the minute they drop in, just to make sure they haven't stung me for that as well.
Yeah.
But, so Hasbro all over the place at the minute.
I saw that. So remember, I told you my whole fiasco with my breaker and RAM cycle, and so then I got that sorted out, and I saw that Start have said that they're getting those in. I think next week or something. So I expect that I should be getting that soon, and that one I've prepaid. So I'm happy to get one that I've prepaid.
Get it. Yeah, get it.
Bring them. They're paid for. They can come in. You know, just like Snake Eyes. I'm waiting for Snake Eyes with Timber because I prepaid that already.
That's imminent, isn't it? That's any day of October.
Yeah, but I'm scared of October, man, because I think there's gonna be fucking loads coming, and I just said to
do you know what this is like? This is like Jarvis is so bored that he just fucks off halfway through the conversation.
I just
I
when
love it. I love it. It's brilliant.
it adds comedy. Oi, come back.
Yeah.
This
I'm,
is the
I'm looking
problem.
at I'm looking at our live clock in the top corner. Yeah, I'm thinking, when is it going to go? I'm going to go for 22 minutes. That's my next one. 22 minutes. He's going to
Right,
fuck off
okay.
again to decide.
Yeah, just before we recorded, I said to my wife, I think it'll be mainly just, you talk about Surtur and whatever else. I was like, because I haven't really got anything that's turned up. And she was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, next month I'm going to get
Well,
beat
I
down.
had three boxes, three Hasbro Pulse boxes were due to come Monday that's just gone. And
Right.
so I got the notification on the Thursday saying they've left the warehouse. And I was like, oh no, fucking hell. I'm at work all day Monday. My wife works at home. I was like, oh shit. I was like, shit. And then she was out Saturday and I had the kids. And then I got a notification Saturday morning saying they're coming today.
Nice.
So I was like,
Perfect.
walking to the door like a boss when the
That's it.
courier
Yeah, I
arrived.
can just collect these, no
Yeah.
problem.
And then
We can
my
have a
kids,
chat and everything.
yeah, my kids were like, what are they? And I went, oh, work stuff. Thinking,
What
quickly put my hand on the big Hasbro sign on the
I was
side of
going to
the
say,
bottle.
what
Work
are those
stuff.
Hasbro boxes all about, Dad?
Yeah. So yeah, but I'm such a good dad. I donated them this week. I donated them my Shang-Chi, my Death Dealer, my Daredevil Marvel Select, which is garbage, but my 5-year-old absolutely loves it because he loves Daredevil and he broke an older Daredevil he had, which he got like a
Right.
£2 at a toy fair years ago and the leg fell off. And I donated one other figure to him as well. I gave him 4 big. I had an old 2006 Toy Biz Century, which is okay. So I gave them that, and they're nuts. We loved it. And to be fair to them, they really looked after the Shang-Chi and the Death Dealer. I was a bit
Buying their silence.
yeah, but they loved the movie, and I thought I'd give them the figures. So yeah,
Why not?
Donated those over. So
Don't you think
I was
it's
in a
weird?
generous mood last week.
Don't you think it's weird that with that movie coming out, and also good parenting, I try, but my daughter's not interested. She goes, yeah, gone. Don't you think it's weird though with the Shang-Chi movie and the figures they released? Like you got Death Dealer because obviously it looks cool, but not Razor Fist, which he was in the movie much more.
Much
like,
more in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And ended up, spoilers for anyone, 2 seconds, and ended up surviving.
Yeah, exactly, right.
So you would think will play a part in future movie because being part of the 10 rings that Xiaoling has now set up.
Yeah, and speaking of Shaolin, the figure they gave, I know that they gave you obviously him in his dragon armor and her in her dragon armor, but when she turns up, that black outfit she's wearing is much cooler than her dragon armor. Like,
much
she not
cooler.
have that figure? Because I'd probably buy that figure. I'd probably use it for something else, but I'd be like, yeah, that's quite a cool figure, you know. Anyway, right. Yeah. Anyway, so that was pretty much all the news I could think of related to the types of figures we talk about. Of course, we could go on and talk about, mythic legions and like the new cosmic legions that they're bringing out, and all the other types of the Mafex Black Spider-Man that's doing the rounds at the moment, all that kind of stuff. But we'd be here all night just talking about that stuff, and so we do generally the Hasbro ones. So that's what we talk about. Okay. So, Paul.
Yes.
What would you like to talk about next? Which figure?
I will go with the. I'll tell you what. No, I'll go first. I'll go with one that I was surprised by because there's 2 elements of this figure. So this is the Marvel Select Silver Centurion.
Okay.
Again on the camera. Now, the thing with selects, for anyone who knows, is they're nowhere near as good, I think, as Marvel. Oh, there you go. As Marvel Legends, in terms of they don't pose as well. They, I think, some of them have more detail on some of the figures that you get, and obviously they're 7-inch, so they're not massively compatible with things. But I'm an absolute sucker for this armor because this is my total favorite Iron Man armor of years gone by. Oh, the Silver Centurion absolutely is my number 1 armor.
Okay.
My number 1 armor. I love it. Just, I think maybe because it was such a time when I was so into comics, it was so different to the red and gold that you'd had like forever. So I'm a complete sucker for this armor, and it's so 90s with this massive, great big, well, 80s with this massive, great big dynasty style shoulder pads. And
it's like Michael Jackson Thriller outfit.
Yes, it is. It's the moonwalking along. It was of such of its era. So the figure itself is good. It's I've done a little video which I'm going to pop up on the Marvel Show YouTube channel, comparing it to the Legends one. I've done a little scoring system and done a comparison. It doesn't pose anywhere, giving away some of the traits, it doesn't pose anywhere near as well as a Marvel Legends. So, for example, at single elbows, they go to that point and they go out to the side, but these shoulder pads are fixed and solid. So you can't arms up, can't fly arms up. This is quite cool though. The backpack comes off on the back, so you can have him with or without. Now, the Marvel Legends one is quite a smaller piece on the back, so that's really cool, and I do like that. And that actually opens out as well, like a sort of flight mode on it at the back, so that's pretty cool. Got a good the ab crunch is good and a good movement in the head, but this is the amazing thing.
Could you show us that flight mode bit again, because it was off camera?
Oh, was it? Sorry. So yeah, so the where am I? I am there on the bearing. So that sort of just pings out a bit at the back, right. So you get a bit of like aerodynamic to it on there.
But the best bit
is, here are all the accessories. So you have the jet boots, which go in like a dream.
Do those fit on Legends as well?
They do.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they go on like a dream. They're really cool. One thing I haven't got it came with its own flight stand, which I wasn't expecting either, which is great.
Oh, nice.
And it came with this second head. So from the comic series, he had a little radar on the front, so it flips up. So it came with that, and a wicked Tony Stark head.
Nice.
Which is the proper from that era of the comics when we went in, got his hair, he got a perm.
That definitely wouldn't work with a Legend.
It looks ridiculous. I put it on and it absolutely looks like it looks like one of those, for those who remember, It's a Knockout was a big program with massive, great big oversized mascots. It looks like one of those on it. So that's really cool. Then he came with two extra. So he's got the fists come on the figure, and then you've got extra hands. So you've got the old typical out hero pose hands, and then you've got the grabby sort of more claw type hands.
Nice.
And then you get hands built into
nice
pulsar blast.
Yeah,
on these blue, and you get repulsor bolts.
Oh, nice.
On that in a fist pose, so shooting them out from the knuckles, and that is what I would have wanted for the Shocker, which we talked about last week. Yeah, they're awesome. And then you get more. You finally get.
Is this new, by the way? Is this just come out?
Come out, brand new. Yeah, released literally last week in the UK.
Oh wow!
So I've had this on pre-order for quite a while. I had a bit of a scare because I got it on pre-order from Zavvi, because the only place I could find it initially. Mm-hmm. And Zavvi haven't been the best to us in the past, have they? They've let us down a few times with orders and cancelled things. But given their due, they said it was shipping. It shipped. It arrived straight away. So on the triangular chest piece, that comes out, and you get a triangular chest piece blast.
Awesome. That is wicked.
It's a
real shame to not get like a deluxe Legend version of this, because obviously with him being so big, you've got Silver Centurion Legends, don't you?
I have, yeah. Got this down the floor in front of me now. And I did a little video on my YouTube channel, which will go out next week or so, because I haven't edited it yet. And I'm such a donut. I completely, when I took it all out of the box, getting ready to prep for the so I'm trying to put the chest piece back in to prep for the episode. I dropped this on the floor and didn't realise, so I forgot to talk about it. So I was going, this is amazing, this is amazing, this is amazing. And the one thing I was most pleased with was this, and I forgot to talk about it. So on this show, an exclusive, this figure has this awesome chest piece. So yeah, excellent. So the figure itself, it is what it is with a select. I know they don't pose as good. They're not great for, you know, dynamic action shots. So really, I've got like about 20 Marvel selects now, but it's
I kind of wondered, like, so the Hulk one that I'm waiting on, everyone that I've seen talk about it, it's like, this is great. It poses almost exactly like the Legends Hulk, right?
Yes, it does. It's brilliant.
And so I think to myself, so you put that one out, so surely at that point you should be putting anything else out that's of that level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder why they're not doing that. Like, why are we still getting figures that don't pose as well? I mean, the select ones, you know, obviously I don't generally buy them. I know you collect them, but I would go for maybe one of the bigger characters. That's why I went for a select Hulk, because I thought, how cool would it be to have like my Legends and it's just gigantic Hulk with them? That'd be awesome. So, you know, on the odd, like if maybe Juggernaut, I would have probably liked the big Juggernaut, you know, something like that. But otherwise, I wouldn't normally go for normal characters. But I'd have thought that by now, with people that collect them, they would have got to the point where they actually have them posing well. Like,
I agree. And you know what? The bigger ones do. The Juggernaut, it doesn't pose the best, but he stands really solid. So you can do that sort of leaning where he's charging thing with him, and he'll stand because he's got such a good, solid, bulky foot. To the base of it will stand. The Colossus Marvel Select is amazing. I love it so much.
That was another one that I would be interested in.
Yeah, and it's probably just a bit too big to put it with the Legends. I did they're on my Instagram. I did some Welcome to the Island of Krakoa, and I put Colossus. I just set him back a bit and put Wolverine, Storm, and Cyclops in front of him. And it looked all right. You get the right camera angle.
But you had to have him.
But I just set it back a bit. I've got the classic costume Thor one, which is great, but again, way too big to put with. But now I've got the Marvel Legends one, the classic costume one. The big bulky ones are great. They stand so well. But these, when they go a bit smaller than this one stands really well. But when they get a bit smaller than this, they're really weird with their feet. Like my Taskmaster one I've got, which is such a great figure, comic version Taskmaster, but it won't stand up. I mean, literally at all. So if ever you see it in the backdrop of one of my other videos, it's always leaning strategically on something, or he's in a pose where he's fighting against the Hulk, and I can rest him on his arm or something. But I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of accessories. You know, I knew it had a lot, but to go for that many on there, so yeah.
And how much was that one?
This was $24.99.
That's not bad for all those accessories.
Absolutely.
As well.
No, absolutely.
That's really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have paid it just for the figure. And to be honest, if I was putting one on the shelf, I'd put this one because it's more statuesque to look at. But, well, let's say, check my soon-to-be coming video in terms of if you want to know which one I think is best. But there you go. So, yes, I was really pleased with that one. So I was really pleased with that one, and then I've only got one other figure to talk about. Don't know if
what could that be, Paul? What
don't
could
know
it
if you're
be?
interested. Let me go down here. Tremble as guardians.
Awesome.
Tremble as guardians. Your doom is at hand.
That is awesome.
The mighty Surtur. Bring him out to the camera.
And how is it in hand compared to the pictures? Because it looks great.
In hand, it's good. It is good. It is quite stiff when you first get it going, which is fine. I prefer that because you know, like I say, I don't want a big one like this to start getting all loose and clunky. Stands really well. Good, nice, solid base of the feet. My gripes are that. So if you look at the burn detail on him is excellent. You know, really good detail. But I don't like this burn detail on the shoulder because it's almost total on both shoulders, and it almost looks like he's got a t-shirt on.
Black shoulders, yeah.
It does, yeah. It almost looks like he's captain of the football team, and he's got this weird thing going on here. And then, in contrast to that, the backs of the legs, it's almost like they forgot to paint it.
Yeah. Except the bottom, he's got socks on.
It does. It really has got little ankle socks on,
Yeah.
which is, or leg warmers. Come from the dance studio. I mean, ultimately, most of the shots you're going to be doing are clearly not going to be of Surtur's calves. They're going to be of his body. But
Yeah.
it's just a bit weird. And also, if you look on the back of the arms as well,
Oh,
particularly
yeah.
when you contrast the back of the arms against the shoulder, it really stands out. And
Yeah, there's no blending.
I went and a shameless excuse to watch again. I went and did a rewatch of Ragnarok, and then I went to I collect the Art of the Movie books as well. So I went to that book to look at the original concept drawings of Surtur as a character, and then what you got on the screen, and looked at some stills of that. And it kind of, there are kind of moments when he's on there where obviously when he's on screen, the molten, the magma is so alive and so flame. So I'm thinking, well, maybe they're trying to capture that, and it sort of works if you shine the right light on it.
I just saw as you turned him round, that your light obviously hit his body and he just glowed.
Yeah.
Like the light was going through him. So I expect that must look good if you like put a light, at the base of him when you're standing there, sort of up by him. Then it must look quite good like that, right? Because it's that transparency on there.
It does, and I stuck a few over on Instagram, which you can see the tag on the screen there. And I did, and I managed. I think I got a work mode on my front of us. I managed to get the torch at that angle. I think quite right with just a fire, flame background on it. The face is brilliant. The face is really good.
So it comes with what, one head and a sword?
So just one head, got the sword, and then you've got a spare fist and a spare sword hand as well. So you can do right or left hand for the swords, and then the fist motion. The sword is really good. The one thing I'm very wary of with the sword is that, so the sword is quite flexible, which is fine, but the handle, it is quite thin.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm quite wary of not pushing too much pressure. Fortunately, and this is really good. It's a really good positive fit. It goes into the hands. Both hands really easy. There's no a lot of swords you either have to sort of prise the fingers open, don't you, or you have to wedge it in, but it goes in really easy, so there's no issue. And it's great. It's actually wide enough. I've got the wrong hand on it, but it's a wide enough long enough blade on the sword handle, so I can do a two-hand as well.
Yes, no butterfly joints on that one, is there?
No butterfly joints, and that's the difficulty. And the one sort of pose I did want to do is I wanted to do like this, holding the sword behind with both hands, but it's got no chance. You're never getting them.
So what is the articulation like on that then?
It's decent for when you accept the limitations of single joints and limited.
Is it single jointed?
So the elbow is double.
Yep.
The knees it's a single joint knee, and they are really stiff. I've really got to loosen this.
Oh yeah,
loosen this up.
Heat them up.
Yeah, and then he's quite loose. I mean, it is quite handy. He's quite loose in the old groin area there, so you will be able to do some sort of twist well on the torso.
Yeah,
twist quite well. So that's good.
Has it got a waist pivot, or is it just his torso?
Yeah, so he's got waist pivot. No, sorry, he hasn't. He's got a
right. So it's the one we like. It's like Venom and Spider-Man.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, the thing with these ones is there's no artistic license like there is with some of the comic book versions, because this is a straight up from the Infinity Saga. So they are very limited in how they can recreate this figure. They are doing a straight up version of the movie one. The box is awesome. Again, massive box. Got the old Infinity saga down the side, and then you've got the Thor Ragnarok movie poster on the back. And the best thing of all, just like the Joe box, is one little snip, straight open.
Yep.
And that's perfect.
Nice square box, yeah.
And that is exactly how all Marvel Legends boxes should be, in my opinion.
It's like they're not listening to us, dude. It's like they're not listening.
Keep telling
to us.
them.
Keep saying it.
But equally, they're not listening to their colleagues who probably work down the corridor in the Joe department either.
Well, I guess they're just trying to keep it different, I suppose. But all these things, maybe over time they change, they get a different design, they redesign them, whatever's working best. And I guess there will be a certain amount of pressure to you know, as you always talk about, limit the plastic on the packaging. That will probably happen at some point as well. Have I lost you? Is it just me again? Is Paul? I think he's gone. He's frozen. I can't hear him anymore. Oh man, if it's not Jarvis going nuts, it's Paul going off air. Let's put it over here because, yep, I think we've lost him. So when he comes back on, which I assume he's going to, there was another cool thing that I must discuss with him. Oh, here he comes. He's back. So I will do that now. Oh, look at that.
Okay, now that's twice.
We've got the nice frozen Paul and the live Paul.
Jarvis.
Oh,
There you go. What? I don't know what happened there. I've got full Wi-Fi.
you dropped out, and then when you rejoined, it's rejoined you as another guest for some reason. So the other one stayed there, and it just put you both in.
Oh, you didn't. No one needs two of me. Believe me, no one needs two of me on the screen.
I was just saying, if it isn't Jarvis screwing with me, it's the internet screwing with you.
It's fucking machines. They're rising up. They're rising up.
I know. There was one other thing that was very interesting that we failed to mention. I know you were very excited about. So Bug Nice got to do a reveal this time of a comic book accurate Doctor Strange.
Ooh,
did you watch his video?
I did, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So you got to have a look at how the figure moves and all that kind of stuff. Of course, fixed cape, fixed plastic cape.
I know.
You know, what's that all about?
That is really, really. That's a total backward step, isn't it? It really is.
It's a weird choice, isn't it? I mean, especially as we've seen, you know, other characters with removable capes. I know, like we've got this Thor. I don't know if you can see Thor here. His cape's fixed in. You'd have to remove it yourself. But for the most part, you'd think with someone like Doctor Strange, it would be removed because sometimes you see him obviously without the cloak, right?
Yeah.
But also for different poses, a character like that, for me, again, we should be getting some soft goods.
Definitely.
You know? And the problem with this figure is that I think that a lot of people are going to be hacking that cape off and then you know, buying another one.
Yeah.
Because you want that. You want one that you can pose, put some wires in it, have it, you know, moving around him and stuff like that, right? I mean, it's a perfect character for it.
And weirdly, they've already done it. So I've got the two that they've done already, comic ones. So I've got and they're both the black suit.
The black and red, right?
One doesn't come with a cloak anyway because it's standard figure and it has more like the medieval sort of tunic, longer tunic to it. But the other one with the cloak fully removed, fully lifts off, and it's like all your other ones, your Mysterios, your Moon Knights, you know, even the deluxe Apocalypse, the cape. You can have him cape or no cape. I was having no capes. I don't
as much as they are plastic ones, but you can still have them.
Yeah. But it's going to be frustrating because it means unless you're prepared to hack it off completely, you're not going to be able to do a cosmic capes or anything along those lines of it. So I mean, I'm totally grateful that we're getting one because it's number one on my wish list. But
you know and that's why I find it so weird because it's like you're putting this out again, but you've chosen, because this is a choice. You've chosen to make it less good than it could be.
Yeah.
Like for why? I mean, it's got the lower tunic bit as well, which I mean, Bug Nice had it in like a cross leg pose, so obviously
that worked really well
enough that you could do it.
Yeah.
But the main cape part of it, I just don't get that.
No.
Why would that be a thing?
And that's the thing, because we cannot be the only two people asking those questions.
No, well, I mean, he said it on that video. He was like, why?
I don't know why. Who doesn't sit in an office at Hasbro when that mold's made and it's presented and it goes through Dwight and it probably goes through Dan, it probably goes through Ryan because he's got to market it, and then it will go through all the I forget her name, makes the molds and does all the crafting for it and all the design side of things, and then it's got to go to someone who's got to say, well, we've got to sell that. Surely someone must have asked the question, sorry, why are we why are we doing a fixed cape on this one?
Yeah, because you could have it removable, right? It would still work the same. Even if okay, we're doing a plastic cape, right? Let's get past the soft goods because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what they're
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
But we've had who did I have recently? The hood.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got one that kind of not the greatest, but it comes off.
comes off.
You've got numerous other ones where you
Yeah.
can remove them across different lines, all under Hasbro with removable bits like that. So it's a bit of a strange choice. Strange, haha.
See what you done there.
However, I will say it's a nice looking figure. It comes with
Yeah,
multiple hands. He's got
yeah,
like he's got his
yeah. He's got his
hand,
eye Agamotto
um,
fingers, and then he's got his
yeah,
spell casting fingers. Yeah,
and he's got he's got 3 heads. He's got 2 Doctor Strange ones.
yeah. So
What,
he's
I
got
can't remember what the
the.
difference with those two was. It
So the
just different
difference with
haircuts.
those is he says haircuts and the moustache is different, and the
Okay.
second version was done. You may have seen it. There was some not fan art actually. There's some art done for Marvel 70s, and all different characters have got 1970s versions of them,
Right.
and they've directly taken that head. So it's the bouffanted
Right. Okay.
quiff and the porn star moustache that you used
So
to get
that
in
was the
that.
second head, wasn't it? There was
Yeah,
that
and
one. Yeah.
that's it. And then the third one is the
The blue
there was
mask.
when he was in
The
Doctor
blue
Strange
man
Sorcerer
crew.
Supreme. Yeah, he was taken over. We taken over by Dormammu, and then he became a Dark Doctor Strange, and he had the pure blue head. So that works quite well. So that'd be
Is
good.
that a head that you think you'd have it posed with?
I will do some shots for that definitely because I'll do
Okay.
those shots with the Dormammu that I've got that I hate. So I'll do some shots with that.
Because it's just like basically a plain blue character head. Probably one that a lot of customizers will like to use for things.
Oh, it'll be perfect because you colour it whatever, and then it'll fit on whatever ones you want. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that looked like a good figure. So I mean, he had that reveal. I don't think there's been any others, but I expect we're going to be seeing some.
Yeah.
And again, it's a figure that I was like, it's a comic book Doctor Strange. I was like, I'll buy that.
I'm on it.
Annoyingly,
it's going to be hard. It's a Walmart exclusive, so we'll have to work a little bit harder to get it.
So there's Walmart Con coming up on the 7th and 8th of October.
That's it.
So that's when that goes on sale, and they said there will be some other reveals around then. So that's when we'll see other things. And then of course Loki went on sale, and so did Falcon as well. Yeah. So I've got my pre-ordering for both of those.
Oh, did you? I got both. Oh, excellent.
Yeah, because I wanted Loki, and I thought Falcon looked cool as well. I don't have a Falcon. I like this comic book version of him, so I was like, yeah, I'll get that one too.
Yeah, I love this.
And luckily they come out in May. They come out in May next year. So.
I'm going to end up getting it then because I've got the last comic book Falcon I did, which was in the Joe Fixit wave, which is really good. But this one looks much better.
This one's got those nice vulture wings as well. So I thought that was a nice little touch, as long as they stay in. And my vulture, one of his, pops out quite a lot. But, he's just always having a crash. Where are you going? Where are you going? Come back, Jarvis.
Maybe
hey,
Jarvis,
he listened to me. Did you see that?
Maybe he fancies the lamp behind you. Maybe he's trying to get it on with the lamp to your right, and that's what it is.
That might be it.
He keeps giving her the look.
I mean, because otherwise there's nothing there. There's just a wall. What are you pointing at?
He's all over the lamp.
The wall looks more like a face than my face looks like a face.
He's after Lulu the lamp.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh, right. Well, is there anything else? Have you got anything else that you'd like to bring up?
No, that's my set. I'm trying to think what we've got. I'll tell you what I've got coming in October. We've got a load of I've got the Webman coming in October.
Right, me too.
I've got 3 of those, but that's 2 for my kids. Although I might hold those back because they've forgotten all about those. And let's be honest, the way things are sounding at the moment, there ain't gonna be nothing else on the shelves at Christmas. So
I know, right?
Yeah, and then we've got the Spider-Man 2099 coming. I think that's November though, isn't it? I think that's coming.
Yeah, these next 3 months are going to be dangerous.
Yeah, and I think Hercules drops in the next month or 2, from memory. So
I did order him. So I've got some Legends and I've got some Joes coming. So Snake Eyes, Breaker, Barbecue. I think that's it for the Joes. Joe's has been a bit slow, but they did announce. I think there's like 15 for next year, or maybe more than that.
Oh wow!
So, you know, I need a new job, one that pays well. I need to be able to justify this because I feel like there's a vice closing in on me. So I'm seeing our friend Colin on Saturday as well.
Oh
No, on
yes,
Sunday. Sunday I'm
yeah,
seeing him.
fair.
Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, so that should be good. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I think. Not, you know, I had the modular that you sent me. Obviously, I showed my War Machine last time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that was it. I really didn't have anything else turn up. It's nice in a way because I feel like, you know, I've not spent money. But at the same time, it doesn't really help when you've got to talk about toys every couple of weeks and you got
No,
nothing in, you know. So it's not
but
my fault that I have
it's
to buy them.
still a good powwow. Still a good powwow.
Oh yeah, still a good powwow. Definitely, I enjoyed it very
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, so
yeah.
I think in that case, if we just let everyone know where they can find us online.
Yep, I'm on the screen right there. But before you do that, do this, like this, subscribe to this, and share this. Do you know how easy it is to share this show? You literally click a button called share, and then you copy the link, put it on your own Facebook page, or your Twitter, or your own YouTube, and you share it, and then you can get the word out about Action Figure Powwow, and everyone who loves toys can come and join us and tell us about their toys as well. That's how easy it is.
That's all you got to do. And you can find me, as it says down here, at Spartan X1, written like that. I assume that everyone that's watching this can see, so you can read.
I can.
And that's on Instagram, and I'm 1933 Eagles on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook. You can find us on Old Chums Geek Chat. My GI Joe group has now gone over 700 members. I
Flying,
just don't
absolutely
get
flying.
what's
It's
going on there.
amazing.
I still
Brilliant.
have someone that keeps on reporting people, and I don't know what's going on, but
Really?
I looked at the posts that were reported the other day and I couldn't see anything wrong with them. So if he does it again, I'm going to just remove that person,
Makes sense.
because I message him and say, hey, could you just tell me, you know, what's up? And he never replies. So I'm
Do you
starting to
think? Do you
feel a
think
little
he?
bit,
Do you think he knows he's reporting?
I don't know, but
Because
just
that's
reply. I
quite
sent you a
weird, isn't
message.
it? Exactly. That's quite weird, isn't it? Or if you know you've been caught out. I mean, maybe. I mean, my wife went for a stage. She mucked her settings up, and every time she had a look at someone's profile, sent them a friend request. And I was
Oh
looking
dear.
at, and she was doing one of the things. Oh, you know, someone new starting at our work. Facebook stalk. Whoops, added them a friend request, and it took her
Yeesh.
a couple of months to realise. So maybe he's not doing it. Let's give him one chance to tell
Well,
us what you're doing.
he's had two chances. He's
Right?
never
Yeah,
answered me.
fine. Fuck it. No more chances. Stop
Do it
reporting people.
one more time, and you're gone.
It's a great site there to have that many people, and considering there's a collecting Joes can be a bit marmite, can't it? Hard to get
Mm.
or really easy. But that's a really positive group there, and there's loads of stuff. People share fan art and just
Everyone's
comic covers they
friendly on
like.
there,
It's
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
great.
and then you know what? I just want it to be that. That's what it is. It's a place for people to enjoy. I'm not policing anything, so you know, any selling that goes on, you've got to look after yourself. But people
Yeah.
seem to do some trades and stuff, and
Do
from what I can tell, it's all going all right.
good stuff up there.
When do you get your next Joe?
See what they release next. See what release next. See what is on the.
There's lots coming.
I know there's lots coming. I know that I will be buying more Joes. There's no
Tomax and Zaymot?
Thomas Zema I would definitely be buying. Crimson Guard I would definitely be buying. I will buy a bat as well. I'll probably end up buying two bats, I imagine.
If the rumor is
Crocmaster.
true, I saw there was a thing going around with the castings for the bat. I don't know if you saw this, and it came with a second head, and the second head was smashed
Blown off.
visor with the robot eye on the inside. It looked pretty cool. If that's real, it's pretty
yeah.
special.
I mean, I'm basically just lining up all the Cobras, but Serpentard, Dr. Mindbender.
Cobras are great.
I want all those ones. So
Yeah, you got to have
yes,
people to fight though. You can't just have Snake Eyes against the whole of Cobra. I don't think
he'd probably be all right, but
he probably would. But you know, you need some others. And Storm Shadow, I think Storm Shadow's coming soon.
That's
And
what I want.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we're going to leave it here then. We've done almost an hour, which should be our shortest episode, you lucky people. So until next time, we'll catch you for another powwow.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy.